Alright, we're live. I know, I'm about 2 minutes early. 2 minutes early. That's okay. There's probably going to be some people who jump in and go, no, we missed out on all the action. Well, there's not really a lot of action going on. It's just the only action going on is the lack of action from my middle click on this button. If you are a Unix person or a Linux person or whatever, you'll know that the middle button is extremely handy for clicking because it does a paste facility. So instead of pressing Control V to paste something down, you just click the middle button and it does the paste. And it's one of those simple features that you really subconsciously rely on a lot. And when it no longer works, it's a problem. Also, if you're on a web page and you're scrolling and you middle click on a link, it opens up to another tab. So yeah, there's a lot of functionality, overloaded functionality in the middle click, and I can't live without it. So I don't know how people do, but I can't live without it. Alright, so this this crappy mouse is I've replaced the feet on it many times and everything, and yeah, this is like the third set I got, because I bought a bunch of these MK220 sets, which come with an M150 and a K220 or K200 or something like that. Yeah, they're really good because they just work without any dramas, no drivers, nothing. You just plug it into USB, it works. It even works for when you're trying to get into BIOS and things like that. So very handy thing. And yeah, it's well and truly worn. It's got gunk in it and everything, but it does keep working. There's no real compelling reason for me to change. A laptop. Yeah, I know you can get fancier and new mice and all that, and we all like to have fancy new things, but sometimes it's nice just to stick with these things. And it's a simple design. The two AA batteries last a long time, and it gives it a nice sort of weight to it, nice handy weight. The only thing I'd complain about is that I do wish that the middle button had been a micro switch rather than a tactile switch, because the micro switches last, obviously, but the tactiles do not. Now we'll get this out. Yeah, lots of dust and junk in there. We'll clean out the human crud later. Hey Bronchus, actually been a while since I've seen you. Let's see. You know, I mean, they only cost me, I think it was about $20 for the pair. The keyboard's not so crash hot on. They're a bit of a dreadful feeling keyboard, but the mouse I do like. And usually when I'm using it for the keyboard, it's just simply because it's portable, it's easy. I'm just sort of accessing a machine for a very short term. Alright, so we've just got to take these out. Trying to think, this is not going to do what I want to do. I don't think I'm going to get enough grip there. No, I'm not. Once again, this is probably the more annoying. We can go this way. Yeah, let's try this way. Yeah, the ultrasonic's not going to do the circuit board much, the tactile switch much good, unfortunately. Yeah, that's going to come flying out as soon as I start pressing on it. Lots of lint. Some of that's cat hair, some of it's carpet fibre. And we've got no okay, let's see if this comes back now. Hey, Defcom. Yeah, it's kind of like when you've got to tighten up a bolt on a car. The trick is to tighten it until it goes soft, and then back it 1/4 of a turn and spot weld the bastard in place. That's the proper way to fix those things. This is probably going to pop out as soon as I start touching on it. Or maybe not. Oh, the pad's coming out, finally, after 10 years or so. That's not a problem. And we moved that little part. That's not a problem. Free, 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 free. Free fry throw from. Tactile switch, out it comes. Okay, replacement, hot swap pit stop. Man, I'm shedding a bit lately, it seems. That is actually a really interesting component down there. It's got some interesting details I hadn't noticed before. Now I want to go have a look. First we will solder the tactile back in. Oh, Defom, did you make it go snap? Did you really make it go snap, or did you almost make it go snap? Ah, that's not in. There we go. You also got to be careful with these tactile buttons because, yeah, we're going to have to fix that one up. That one, although I think that one there is actually an NC. It's really just these two down here, I think. But yeah, you got to be careful with the amount of heat you put on these tactile switches because the little plastic membrane just tends to die. Yeah, I'm almost certain that one's not playing any part. Oh, jeez. Why do we have to bring factory duds into this channel? No. Let's not talk about factory duds. Yeah, look at the detail on that, whatever it is. Those little tiny... those little traces on it. That's quite interesting. So we can get some more light. By the way, I'm using my new tilted microscope light. Kind of see how it goes. Hey, Pro Engineer. So it's still the ring light that I had before, but what I've done is I put it on at about a 15-degree tilt. So I don't lose too much in terms of lumens, but hopefully I avoid some direct... Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's... I can't work out whether it's some kind of tuned antenna element or what. But it's just... It's got a cap designate, or maybe it's coil. It's just some kind of coil. Still, it's a little different. It's not a laser trim resistor that I can tell. I know what those are. I mean, most of the resistors are laser trimmed these days anyway. But, yeah, it's weird. I'm going to guess it's a coil. Just a very interesting one. Because usually with laser trim resistors, you have... Yeah, see, they're all up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're coils of some sort. They're just very unusual ones. Or in a format that I've not normally seen. Even though I've been repairing this for so long. Come on. Okay, we're just going to hot air that back into place. Even though it doesn't really need it. But yeah, we have the same thing up here, there and there, and there's two coil, yeah, so we've got L4, L2, L3, so I'm guessing these are just, three inductors. Like I said, just never seen them in that kind of representation before. Or presentation, pick whatever term you want. We're not gonna... It does, as you say, look like L3 and C19 are swapped, but you can never tell with silk screens. There's been far too many times that silk screens have had things swapped around, and no one cares. Certainly not at the factory. They're like, eh. There we go. There's a little bit of poor soldering there. See how it's like you've got two different temperatures have occurred here, and it's got an uneven ridge where one part was molten, the other didn't. I'm genuinely not worried. This thing's tough enough, it'll live. So I'm going to see how the tilting of the ring light goes. See if it attracts any sort of cease and desist legal notices from factory duds. I don't see any problematic glare around here. Instead, I see problematic hair. And this is the optical angular, what do you call it, transcoder. Bit of corrosion developing down on those legs, and that will be just from human body, sweat and moisture and all that sort of junk just slowly working its way down. You got to admit, it's quite a marvel that these days this is an overdone mouse compared to the old days when you had the mouse ball and the mechanical rotation sensor. I'm trying to think, rotary encoders, and all the other business, and then the serial converters so that you can send the data to, and now it's such a simple thing now, comparatively. Let's get into cleaning up all the human muck now, the yuck stuff. Just using some 80-20. Although these days I seem to be more doing 60-40 for my alcohol water mix. 60-40 seems to be more effective for me now. Just take it as you will. Find your own preferred mix. The point is, at least there's some water in it with the alcohol. Hey Greg, no, I've not had to change the micro switches at all, so yeah, they're definitely very durable, and they would get clicked more than the tactile center one. which may be why they just sort of said, "Yeah, let's just use a tactile switch for the middle one." I would have preferred if all three were, what do you call it, micro switches. But considering those micro switches cost me 10 cents a piece, I think I can live with it. Mycosis, if you get rubbing alcohol though, isn't that ethanol and mix? Because I do use what we call, metho, as you know. But that's ethanol and water. Oh wait, no. Metho is 100%, 99.9%. Crikey, mate. Yeah, metho is 99.9% ethanol with a denaturing agent. Fortunately, they don't use methanol anymore. They just still keep it calling it metho, of course. But yeah, if you look at the data sheet that comes with, it's 99% ethanol with the denaturing agent, which is a very aggressive bittering agent. Stop people drinking it, but people still get around that anyway. I do use ethanol for cleaning, but not as often as I use isopropylene. It depends on the task. Every now and then I have to replace the sliders, but that's usually because the glue on the glue that's holding the sliders to the mouse tends to fail just over time. But what I am having to do more and more lately is tape the bottom plate on because it just keeps sliding off. I think the latch has started to fail. Lots of human wear marks there. Is wood alcohol... Oh yeah. Take some and you'll see. Or rather, you will not see. The stuff's nasty. Of course, the solution, if you have accidentally ingested wood alcohol or methanol, is just drink alcohol. Like quickly. Ethanol. Because your body will then tend to prioritize handling the ethanol, which will leave the wood alcohol a bit more time, and it'll just get processed elsewhere rather than overloading your system with the byproduct of the decomposition of methanol, which then sends you blind and destroys your organs. Antifreeze is nasty stuff, yeah. I see there was some more issues of people tainting, I think it was cough syrup recently. I think the problem that they're running into with the cough syrup that I heard was that it was more, there was residue of antifreeze in there, glycol, what is it? Glycoethyl? Glycol, yeah, whatever. It was left over as a contaminant in the product that they actually wanted. Hey, old Paul. There's a lot of human junk in these corrugations on the wheel. I do prefer the mouse wheels to be like this. Like, it's hard plastic, but it's got the corrugations in it, as opposed to, I think it's a Microsoft mouse. They tend to have that more soft rubbery coat on the outside, and it just turns to sticky muck afterwards, whereas this hard plastic obviously does not. You know, just keep cleaning it up. It's almost there. It's almost there. Look, it's its annual bath. I did used to have a box of those medical IPA swabs. I did find them a little bit small though. But I bought a box because obviously where I buy the gloves from and a few other things, you know, medical supply centres. And I thought, I'll try some IPA swabs. They're pretty good, but like I said, they're a bit small. Maybe it was just bad luck. I got the wrong ones. Where's my glasses? It's amazing how much crap there is in there when I put my glasses on. I guess the lesson there is don't put glasses on because you will put crap in your mouse. Take the glasses off and it magically disappears. Hey, really? Looks like I've got a scratch in there. Fortunately, a scratch shouldn't be too bad on the optical element. Shouldn't be. Optimistic, I say. I wonder if Logitech will send me a cease and desist for showing people how to keep their phones going for far too long. A bit like Toyota sending out a recall on all the Camrys because they're still alive after 25 years. I think that's everything. And these batteries, they'll last a year or so. See how it doesn't hold anymore, so I do have to put a piece of tape across there to stop that. Yeah, where's my fake Captain tape? Actually, I might just use masking tape or something. We'll see how the green masking tape goes. Alright. It's not supremely pretty or anything. Yeah, like I said, it's worn down. Gives you an idea that I'm not faking it because you can see all the wear marks on it. And of course I use it as a left-handed person. I'll go see if this works. 3D print a new one. Oh right, a new latch. Yep. Let's see, middle mouse work. Ah, beautiful. Alright, that works. Middle mouse click works without any hesitation at all. Whereas before I was not sure whether I was like needing to click harder or what was going on. So yeah, for understandably, these tactile buttons just wear out. Yeah, it probably gets 1,000 clicks a day. Hey Miles, yeah, no devil snot, not for that. This here I was fixing up a few weeks ago, and the Wi-Fi wasn't working, so I thought we'd just have a quick look. Not sure if my 3D printer would be able to produce a part of sufficient tolerances to fix that. Let's see. Yeah, so the Wi-Fi not working on this. I'll just double check it. See whether it's not working or can't see it. And I need a boot stick. This should do the trick. And we need a MagSafe 2 lead. Your MagSafe 3. Okay, McWake. Have a good day at work. Come on, see the stick. What? Because sometimes even the... Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so better check that. So if I plug it in here, it should show up, but it didn't. Oh, there it is. Yep. Yeah, Greg, I believe DDR4 is going up very quickly now. I think that a lot of people didn't go to DDR5 as quick as they imagined people would. And so there's a high demand for DDR4 because everyone's kind of like, well, DDR4 seems fine, and it was cheaper. So now they're turning the financial tables and making us go to DDR5. But of course we have to pay more for the boards that support it, I guess. And if you're upgrading, then it's going to cost you. This is a 1466, by the way. Okay, Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi hardware installed. Alrighty. At least we know what we're dealing with. It can't see the hi-fi Wi-Fi. Come on, shut down. You're in trouble with running off these USB boot sticks, as you've got to make sure you don't take them out before it truly has shut off. Like when the screen goes from being black to slightly like dark olive green. If you take it out before then, it gets cranky, and then the next time that you put it in, it gives you a great big lecture on not pulling it out before it's ready. Oh, come along now. By lecture, I mean it takes forever to boot up. Okay, so we've just got a bad... Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that'll explain that. We've just got bad junk on there. Not a problem. Surprised I didn't see that originally, but that's okay. We'll just grab our 1466 box of goodies. And yeah, like so this is the, like I said, the tilted display now. So my personal brightness level of choice is around about here for me as a viewer. I don't know how it is for you guys. Oops. Let's see, T5. And basically just throw that in the bin. This one looks clean. Let's put some battery screws in. Stop it flopping out. This is why I can just throw those other Wi-Fi modules away. I've got 3 in here and I've got goodness knows how many in the other areas. So if it's bad, just toss it. If it's a DC inboard though, I'll probably repair a DC inboard still. Those things are expensive now. In fact, it probably sometimes costs you more to buy a DC inboard than it would be to get a whole replacement 1466. I know the machines are getting old, but they do still have some uses. It's going to be a warm week next week. We're pushing up into the 40. That is 40 Celsius. We have Wi-Fi. Yep, all the different. I actually have a guest network now. I bought myself a new Wi-Fi access point router, and it has proper guest channels on it, which is good because a lot of the time I prefer it if customer machines don't actually bind into my network, and I'm sure the customer machines prefer it if my network doesn't touch them. So guest networks are kind of a low security kind of way of doing it. Okay, that's good. Please update your browser. Yeah, I think not, mate. This is probably the biggest problem with a lot of these older machines now, is that the browser is a problem. Let's see, can we use... Let's see if we can use Safari as a kind of like Internet Explorer and use it as a loader for, let's see, Google. Hey Swindon, how you going there, mate? You getting ready to do another day of streaming? What do you got lined up for today? Controllers, switches, random gabbering, chit chat, coffee? I'm done here. I'm just that I checked this 1466 I fixed up a few weeks ago, and its Wi-Fi wasn't working. It was just a bad Wi-Fi module. So swap that out, toss the old one, and away we go. We're good. I'm just seeing if Chrome will load on this. It's going to be slow because it's installing it onto the USB stick. And I was checking out my new ring light system. The new ring light is, like I said, I'm using this as the tilt. So basically, let's see, yeah, the lights, it's like, oh, have I got one around here? Unfortunately, I don't have any other boards available because I was an idiot and threw them out. Because I thought, oh, I'm not going to do any more of those. And then some people asked for them. But yeah, so that's how it sits. Which means when it's corrected on installed, like, yeah, you got about a 15-degree tilt on the light. It's not a massive amount, but it might just help reduce direct reflections. Not that I really personally ran into that much of a trouble, but some people might like it. When you lousy bursted. Right. What? Show me my applications. Come on. Ugh. Hey Eric, upgrade to a $40, yeah. Come on. The only thing really interesting that's also happened this week is I finally ordered myself some proper electrical screwdrivers. For all of these years I've never had electrical screwdrivers other than the red one that every Australian man has from their Stanley screwdriver kit. And of course nobody in Australia who has one of those uses it for electrical work. It's always used as a lever for things that you shouldn't. It's just like, and so the flat tip just gets bent and twisted. Nobody uses that for electrical work. Hey there, Serge. Well, open. If you're an Australian and you've had a Stanley screwdriver set, you will know the one I'm talking about, and you'll know that it's bent. Sorry, I bought myself, I was going to get some wearer ones because yeah, I do mostly have wearer gear, but they were like $140, $150 for the set, and oddly enough, Weeha, Margaret's iPhone has been found. What? Whose account's this associated with? Frickin' heck. Seeing trouble when you get boards is you don't know what iCloud account sometimes they're assigned to. Oh, come on now. Boot already, will you kindly? I mean, start. Oh. No, I will not let you send information back. Use Chrome. No one cares. Let's see if YouTube even works. I don't use this machine for a lot, but like I said, it is a handy thing to have. Can we just go home? It's like, no, search something. We're not going to suggest anything until you search something. Fine. And it'll bring up a magician. Yeah. Honestly, even now, even though he's dead for many, many years now, he still severely outranks me. It's very disappointing. Yep, that works. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. That's it. That's everything I had to do. Mm-hmm. Can shut down now. I said the wearer doesn't have a nice rubber grip. It's just plastic. The angel, although I mean, I do prefer plastic in general because the rubber just turns to muck. Anything that's got that butyl plastic in it, yeah, it turns to muck and it smells like puke. And I hate it. Okay, that's disconnected. Great. So we know this works. Like I've got these ones here. This is the non-insulated variant. And this green stuff, it just starts getting sticky and attracts dirt, and eventually it starts smelling like vomit. And that'll be because the butyric acid or something like that in it. Anyway, it smells like vomit. I've got a few boxes out the back in the shed, and I open them up, and straight away it's just like, yep, someone let the plastic out. Let's see, what do I need? Some more tape. Wow, where's my customer? They've got to pick up their phone. The phone turned from being a simple battery replacement job into a nightmare. Because it was not actually a battery fault in the original situation, it was a bad dock assembly, a charge dock. But I did the mistake of not doing my own testing, and subsequently I replaced the battery with a Apple service pack, and then it was still boot looping. And I should have known as soon as they mentioned about it shutting. But the thing is, the customer presented it to me in a sense of it's not constantly rebooting, it's just every now and then it will die because the battery is weak. And yeah, actually maybe it was that originally, but in the end it turns out there was a dock assembly fault. But of course I'd already put the service pack in, and then throughout all that the screen died as well, probably just from being handled too much. And so it ended up going from being a dock assembly replacement if it was done originally to a dock, a battery and a screen, and it's like, blimey heck. The problem was that I didn't do my own examination first. Was it 17th? Yep. Okay. That's good. That can be a nice little test machine every now and then. Alright. Let's put these away. Originally I was going to make those mounts so they were a sort of like concentric sphere gimbaling system. But in the end I was like, nah, stuff it. So I was too lazy to do that. I knew what I wanted to do to make the concentric sphere gimbaling. But then I started working in FreeCAD and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take my existing design, change the tilt of the mount, and we're done. And yeah, around about 15 degrees, it seems to be okay. Had to replace the back glass of your mate's 50. No, now that's a mistake. Yeah. Nah. Nah. Yeah. I don't do the backs. Never do the backs. And people say, but so-and-so does the backs. And I was like, you know what? You take it to so-and-so to do that back, because quite frankly, I do not want to know about those things. Doing the back is just a pathway to hell. What have I got going on here? Yeah, I don't think I got anything else really that's realistically be done in this workshop for today. We're pretty much done for the weekend. I've got some long-standing pain in the ass jobs, things that I can't solve. Like I've got a machine, it was in 1990, and I'd repaired it in the past, fixed up the, what do you call it? SSD VREG issue, which was normal enough. And that was fine, it was good. And then it came back, it completely failed, and turned out one of the main PP bus caps had failed. That was fine, I fixed that up. And then a day after I'd fixed that, the whole thing just stopped. And I don't know what's going on. I've replaced all the current sense stuff, I replaced just everything back up the line, and it's not working. So it's driving me mad because I didn't get a chance to get the data off it. That's what the phone case for. Exactly, that's what phone cases are for. Yeah, you put them up. But yeah, so the only thing I'm really sort of working around at the moment is, just seeing what. Let's grab a board here. So what is this one? This is a donor. Yeah, so like I said, the tilt light, it doesn't take a massive hit in terms of the lumens. Oh yeah, nice liquid damage there. But hopefully it's sort of, the best place to notice it is, say, if you go to the ISL. Where the hell's it? There we go, the ISL. So like, you can't see it, but right now I can see the reflection because it's right up the top here. But by the time I bring it into the center and zoom on in, there's no glare there or anything like that. What'd you pay $1,300 for, Miles? To get a laser machine or something? But yeah, I don't do the backs. I know there's plenty of people that do, but I would refuse to do them because there's too many times where things just go horribly wrong. You do still have to tilt for some of these chips to get the text off them. But these ones, you can actually see it's got the black text on there. Let's see, get a cotton bud. Oh, useless. Let's get one of the special swabs. Like, I can read that black text no problem. You probably can't. And I don't... Okay, so that's maximum brightness now. And you can see that it is making the board show up a little bit. The board itself is getting a bit blown out. So that's why I like it around about there. And even directly on the metal strips and things like that, we're not getting any glare. We don't need some fancy $200 anti-glare gooseneck system. And you don't need polarized light either. You could just, it works fine like this. I mean, yeah, there's the occasional chip where, let's see if I can find one. Okay, like that one there. That's the Renesas 3V8 controller chip. And you can't really read that unless you do tilt it up a bit like this. The other way is you can have kind of a light in front of you or from your elbows sort of thing coming in to provide that effect. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Hey, Johnny Chung. Alright then, well, I think I'm gonna close up for the weekend, which is a lie. I'll be back. But I'll probably be doing software development this weekend. There's a lot of stuff I need to get done with Flexboard View. Features I need to add, quirks I need to fix. There's a new TiVo View file that someone sent me and it's not picking up the network names properly. And I know why it's doing it, but I've got to... It's like a 1 in 10,000 that's doing it. case is, it's sometimes in life there are many things, or sometimes there are things that you can understand why they're doing it and you know how to do it, fix it, but actually translating that into written source code is not always so easy. Alright, I'm out of here. Thank you all for watching for that very exciting mouse restoration. Like I said, it's a cheap mouse, but I like it. I like the feel of it. I like the weight of it. Why should I bother spending another $20 when I've already got the parts and it's a 30-cent part? Why not just replace it? And people go, well, your time costs more. It's like, I did it during a quiet time and it's once a year. I think I can live. Okay, I'm out of here. You all take care. Have a good weekend if I don't see you before Monday or whatever. Otherwise, enjoy it. I'll see you on the next one. Catch you later.